Hello, welcome to Imaneo's YouTube channel. He said I can start the recording and introduce myself until he comes. So my name is Dash, I'm the mascot of Dart language and Flutter framework. I'm female, but I don't mind being called they, their, he or him. I joined Iman some days ago and I'm not sure what is happening here, but it seems he has some Flutter and Flame Game Engine tutorials in this YouTube channel. Oh, it seems he's coming.
Hi everyone, thank you Dash. Yes, as she said, we have some Flutter and Flame Game Engine tutorials in this channel. You can take a look at them and don't forget to subscribe the channel because we will have a lot more tutorials here. So before we continue, I want to mention something about Dash. You cannot buy or sell it anywhere, but you can win it or earn it in a challenge or in a conference or these kind of things. If you want to know how could I get a Dash, it was a Flame Game Jam contest and we could win the Flame Game Jam. You can take a look at the video. I explained the steps that we went through. I think there were 20 dashes and she is one of them. So for now I will put her back here. She doesn't fit well there. I have to find another place for her, but that's fine for now because she's in my video and I like that. If you want to know more about Dash, you can check this page. It is docs.flutter.dev/dash. So she introduced herself here. There are some designs and here we have versions. This is Dash version 1 and yeah, this is Dash version 2. So I will put the link into the description. Okay, now let's jump into the episode. In this episode, I'm going to continue the color switch game series. If you are a new viewer here, we had a color switch game tutorial. It was a series and we explained how you can build a color switch game using Flutter and Flame Game Engine step by step. So we already finished that, but I saw a comment from one of you, a subscriber or a viewer, and he suggested to add a function to automatically generate circle rotators infinitely. To do that, at first I want to show you the latest state of the game. So this is the game that we developed using Flutter and Flame Game Engine. As you see, this is the last circle rotator and after that it is empty space. So what we are going to do, we are going to add some circle rotators here automatically and generate it infinitely. At first I'm going to take a look at the MyGame class. As I remember, we had a function to generate the components. Yes, here we have generate game components. At first we add a color switcher. I think it is this one. Let me disable the music for now. I think it is in bgm.play. Yeah, for now I will disable the music. Okay, the color switcher is this one and after that we have circle rotator, which is this one that is rotating, and after that we have a star component, which is this one, and again we have color switcher, which is this one, circle rotator and a star component. Here we have two circle rotators at the same position, 0 and minus 400. So this is here and they have different size. For example, the first one has 150, the second one has 180, and that's why you see two circle rotators rotating with each other. Again, we have a star component and yeah. Okay, to do that I'm going to create another function with the same name. It accepts a vector to of generate from position. So basically in this function I'm going to generate 3 circle rotators and 3 color switchers. I think it is enough for a screen. The first time we pass a position like here to generate above components, and after that when we arrived on the third one we generate the next batch. So we repeat the same process, and after that we will have an infinite color switchers. I'm going to copy paste this code from here, and instead of this position I'm going to add it with the generate from position, and again I will do that with the other ones. And now I'm going to comment this code because we don't need it anymore, and here we pass a number like, so when 0 and 0 is here, and when we go down the number increases, so we can say 0 and 100 maybe. We can take a look. I think we can increase it such as 50. Oh, we need more, 20. Okay, when we spawn the player it doesn't collect the color switcher. That's good. Now I'm going to copy paste this part, and when we paste it here we need to decrease this value, because for the second batch or second part we need to start from here. So we can say generate from position minus equals of something like this value, but because we need to go further we increase this. I think 350 is good, and again here we will add the generate from position to these positions, and if we run the app again, yeah, so to increase the space I'm going to use 380 maybe. Yes, it's better, or 370. Okay, so now to generate the next batch, because I can't see the above of this circle rotator, I'm going to zoom out the camera. We can do it like in the update method. I can say camera dot viewfinder dot zoom is something like half, and yes, now I can see the above of the screen. Okay, and now I'm going to copy paste this code here, and I'm going to change the position to this one, and I'm going to copy paste this code because we need to increase the generate from position to something like here, and I will run the game. Oh, it is too far. Let's decrease it to something like this. Yes, I think that is good. And yeah, now I'm going to test it. I'm going to call it again with for example vector 2 of 0 and 1000. I don't know where is it, but we can try it. Something happened. Oh, I need to decrease the value, because when we go up the value decreases. Okay, it seems working well. So what about 1500? Okay, and if we zoom out, yes, you see that we are generating correctly. And if I call it again with, for example, minus 3000, yes, this is what we want. And now the point is that we need to call this function when we reach some point, for example the last circle rotator or something like that. Okay, to do that we need to have a reference of the components that we are generating. I'm going to create a list of we can say position component of all the components that we generate. We can call it game components, and it is an empty list by default. It's a private list. Now we are going to add the components to this list. Here we can generate a new function to add component to the game, and it accepts a position component, and here at first we add it to the list to have a reference of that, and then we can add it to the board. Now we can use this function instead of word.add. Yes. Okay, now we are adding each component to the list and also to the word. So let's clean up the code a little. We remove the other function. If we run the app again, yes, it works well. And now we can implement a logic to generate the next batch when we collected or when we eat the star here. Not the last one, but the last one minus one. To do that, I remember in player we had collision detection. Yeah, here we said if it is a star component, we can call game ref. Yeah, it is my game, to something like try to or check to generate next batch, and we call the we pass the component. Here it is a star component, and let's create the method. Yes. And here at first we have to check whether this star is the last one minus one or not. To do that, I'm going to use this list where type is a star component. Okay, now we have a list of star components that are available or exist in the game, and we can say all star components. Now we can check the length of it. Now we can iterate over the star components. And here we can say if star component is equals to the one that we are checking. Okay, we need to convert it to a list, I think. Yes. And now when the star is the one that we are checking and I is larger than I minus length minus 1, I think. Now we can generate the next batch. And here we check that at first we find the star component that we are looking for, and then we say if I is larger or equals than length minus 2, I think. So this way we filter out the last circle rotators, the last one and the previous one. So this is a safe code to make sure that every time we generate the star. Now I'm going to call generate game components, and this time I'm going to say a star component dot position plus vector2 of 0 and 200, something like that, because we are not sure how big is the circle rotator around the star component. And we need to decrease the value, because when we go up the value decreases. So let's see the result. Yes, we generated, but I think we need to increase this value. Also, let's increase the zoom because I cannot see. Okay, it's better. Okay, we need to add more space, maybe 500. Oh, am I doing correctly? Maybe we need to increase it. Let's see. Oh, yes, the point is that we have to use the last star to calculate the position, because now we are calculating this position, and that's why we need to increase a lot of space. So to do that, last star is star components dot last child. Yes, and I'm going to use the last star position. Let's last, yeah. And now I'm going to use 200 again to see the result. Yes, now we can increase it to, for example, 240 maybe. Yeah, it is generated, but we need way more space, something like 450. I don't know. You have to play around with the numbers to have something that works. Or yeah, it is good. Oh, it's really hard to play. We can do something to test the game, because I'm losing and losing again. I can disable the other is color switch, change the color randomly, circle arc. Yeah, I can disable this logic to, now I'm allowed to move. Okay, now we have to generate, yes, and it is damn cool. Okay, I'm submitting a new record. Yeah, at first let's decrease this value. I think it is too much. Yes, it works well. I think 400 is a good number. We are generating circle rotators automatically, and you can go infinite. So the next step is really important, because as we go, we generate more and more circle rotators, and that's why we need to clear the memory. We need to do the garbage collection by ourselves to remove the circle rotators that are outside of the screen or something like that. To do that, I'm going to add a logic here in here. Yeah, when we are generating the next batch, I can say try to garbage collect, and we pass the star component, and we create the function. Yes. Here at first we try to find the star component in the list. Again, something like the same logic, all star components, and now instead of only star components, we are looking through all the components. So we can use this one, and yeah, when we find it, okay, this is the star component that we collected, for example this one, and it has a position or index in the game components, and we can check if it is more than, for example, 20. It means that we have 20 items below that or before that. So this time we try to clear, for example, 10 of them. We are going to keep some of them to have a better visualization. Okay, to do that, at first we break the for loop, because we are not going to iterate over other components. And now we have another component which is remove n items, remove components from game. Okay, and here we are going to iterate over the n items of the list to remove them from the parent and from the list. And because we are going to remove it from the list, we cannot iterate from 0 to n. So we are going to iterate from n to 0 because we are deleting them from the list. Otherwise we get in trouble. So we are going to iterate from I equals 9, I larger than equals 0, I minus minus. I should be n minus 1, I think, yes. And here at first we get the reference. It is game components I, and we remove it from parent, and then we remove the index, the item at the index, and this way we remove everything. Okay, so we remove the items below here, as you see. Yes, so this number is too much. Let's change it to 15 and 7, for example. So now it should be clear that we remove items. Yes, so this way we prevent any memory issue, memory leak, because we are removing items from the list, and also we generate some new items when we reach at a point. Oh, by the way, we have a bug here because we said if I is larger or equals than 15, we remove 7 of them. And in some points, because we have 2 circle rotators, when we reach the star, we have more than 15 items below of them or on the bottom. So we are going to say remove I minus 7 items. So it says keep 7 items and remove everything is that is behind that. So let's see it again. Yes, and if we go further, yeah, and now perfectly it removes the old items or the items that are outside of a screen, and also generates a new circle rotators on the top. So this way we have an infinite circle rotators which generates automatically. Yes, I think we are done. Now let's decrease the zoom level back to the value it was, and yeah, let's play with this view. As you see, you don't feel that we are generating items. So you go further and further, items are generating outside of the screen, and also we remove the old items that are on the bottom. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe my channel, or share it with the other people that might like this content. And yeah, see you. Bye bye.